back to our 5.9 build. I'm Kiefer, and we're picking up is we got the block stripped. I spent some time measuring and cleaning, and we're now ready to begin the honing process of the cylinders to put some cross hatching on the walls. These cylinders are all within spec for standard size pistons, and just a light honing will be needed just to put some cross hatching in it. So for this process, what you need is either a ball hone or a cylinder hone with the three arms on it and stones. I prefer ball hone. A nylon bristle brush for cleaning your cylinders after you've honed. Some fluid to use for honing your cylinders. We have Flex Hone, which is designed for this, and then also a corded drill that'll run at a slow speed with good solid handles so that you can use both arms. That way when you're running your hone up and down, you are more steady. So let's begin. So what we want to do is oil up our cylinders. If you have piston cooling nozzles that stick up into your cylinder bore, I would recommend removing them if possible. You want to make sure you get all the cylinders nice and oiled and the stone nice and oiled before you start. This job can be a little bit messy. A lot of the engine work that you do in a rebuild is cleaning and measuring. The actual assembly and disassembly actually doesn't take that long. So there. Okay, so when honing a cylinder, it's important to go have a slow turning drill and to move up and down fast. That way you get the proper cross hatching. You don't want cross hatching that looks like this or like this. You want it to be somewhere in the middle there. And then on your way out, it's important to come all the way out spinning. That way you're leaving at the same speed. That way you leave your cross hatch intact and you don't put vertical lines into your cross hatching. So this is the last one that I have to do. I start the ball hone. And there. So once you get the cross hatching in, you can take a lint-free rag and just wipe her down to inspect. Make sure you got the proper lines that you're looking for. And it's important to not get too carried away with honing out your cylinders, because you don't want to take off too much material. You just want enough cross hatching in there so that you can oil your rings and it helps them seat. Okay, so we've honed the cylinders. Now it is time to clean them. What you want to use is a nylon brush like this, hot soapy water, and you want to scrub all of your cylinders clean, and then wipe them down with lint-free rags. The rags, you'll keep wiping and cleaning until the rags start to become clean when you pull them out. And then you will take oil and oil your cylinders, and it's a good idea to try and use some rags to wipe them down afterwards, and the oil will pick up any left over contamination, and you will continue the cleaning process until your rags come out clean again, and then you can oil your cylinders for the final time, and they will be ready for assembly. Brake Clean is not a suitable cleaner for this, as Brake Clean will actually trap in the foreign material, and you will wipe it clean with your rag and think it's clean, but actually it's all trapped into your cross hatching. Alrighty, so we now have our cylinders cleaned, oiled, and we're now moving on to the assembly of the bottom end of the engine. So if you get your main bearings set out, you will notice that these are for your crankshaft, that these ones are the ones that will sit in the block journals. It's important to place the locking tab on the bearing into the spot. There is one special bearing here which has your thrust bearings, which is for your in and out of your crankshaft. This is especially important on an engine with a standard transmission, as it will this thrust bearing will see a little more abuse from the engagement of your clutch. You want to keep your journals dry on this side. When handling main bearings, or any bearing, or pretty much for the rest of the engine assembly, you want to wear gloves, as this oil on your skin will cause erosion on your block and on your main bearings. So it's important to wear gloves, that way you avoid rust buildup on your components. Okie dokie, so we have now set the crank into the block, and we are ready to start checking our bearing clearances. Unfortunately, I have the wrong gauge of plastic gauge for this engine. This Cummins spec is between 2 to 5 thou, and the only stuff I have is 4 to 9 thou, so that will not work. I'll have to go get some. But basically what you want to do here is you want to lay a piece of plastic gauge on all of your crankshaft journals on the top here, and follow your engine rebuild manual torque procedure for tightening your main caps. It's important to make sure that all the ones that you are plastic gauging are dry. You don't want to just do one, you want to do all of them, so that if any one of your main bearings for whatever reason has a tight tolerance, before you continue on with the rest of assembly, you will know which one is your problem. And then once you have checked all your main, loosened off all your caps, and checked all your clearances, then simply clean off the plastic gauge and proceed to lubricate your main bearings and follow the same torque procedure, and that will is how you install your crankshaft. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, please.